Amazing Fantasy 15 is what made Spider-Man an icon. It told an unforgettable origin that paved the road for excellent stories and additions to the Spider-Man mythos. With the various works of Spider-Man that have released over the years, I think it's worthwhile to take a look into the past and see what worked so well from the very beginning, when it was just a few guys dreaming of an idea for the first time, rather than adapting what's been done before. One of the strengths of the story is its clear focus on character. In spite of sharing a universe with other established superheroes, the focus on Peter Parker and his world are put to the forefront. From the first page, we're shown that he's an outcast within his social environments. He lacks confidence, feels excluded, and forms a more cynical and selfish outlook on life. This informs why his character flaws develop and sets a clear premise for his character arc. While it's crucial to establish the flaws in our protagonists, it's also important to establish their strengths so we can gauge who we're following. Peter Parker is a very smart kid with a passion for science. He came from a loving family who instilled strong values. Underneath the more bitter and cynical elements of Peter's character, he still has a good heart and a desire to achieve greatness in life. And either to his luck or misfortune, he receives the power to do more for people, to carry out the dreams and ideals his aunt and uncle would want him to strive for. But rather than focusing on the good he could do for the city, Peter allows his newfound power to corrupt him. As a young kid dealing with being a social outcast, having great personal ambitions, and wanting to make his parental figures proud and happy, it becomes easy for him to act on his temptations as a result of his new gift. This informs his choice to show off his powers, and to try to make money off his talents when he brings them to the wrestling arena. The more he succeeds, the more he leans into his temptations and remains caught up in them. His talents turn into an excuse for Peter to become more arrogant and spiteful towards the world. His newfound fame enables Peter's arrogance and his addiction to remaining on a pedestal over everyone else. And this all stems from his upbringing. Someone who was a social outcast has become famous enough that so many people are gravitated towards him. After being put down for so many years, he finally has the power to clap back and remain at the top as he pleases. It's difficult to imagine letting go of that hold over people, so why would Peter see the need to change? While his actions kept him on a constant streak of rewards, it eventually costed him greatly. In a moment of apathy, Peter is met with a chance to stop someone who is looking to steal from others, and he makes it firmly clear that he's through with acting for anyone but himself and his loved ones. He even responds in a spiteful manner when met with legitimate and fair criticism, showing the extent of his savory attitude towards staying in control and not having to listen to what others have to say. Through a natural progression of events, we're shown how a reward system can corrupt an otherwise kind-hearted individual to give in to personal temptations, so much that their unchecked selfishness leads to irreversible consequences. That same night, Peter learns that his uncle has been shot and killed. He doesn't know how or why. All he knows is that he wants revenge, and that his powers are the answer to what happened. But then he learns that there's more to this story. It wasn't just a case of bad luck that some random thief decided to kill Uncle Ben. It was his own mistake that enabled this tragedy. From there, it only makes sense for Peter to experience a reality check. Through his own ego, he believed that his powers would solve all of his problems, and that he was untouchable in life. But not only did this put into perspective that he can't be there to prevent everything that could go wrong, but it also forced him to realize that his unwillingness to make the world a better place will eventually come back to bite him, or someone he cares about. It's the perfect motivator to turn a young and arrogant kid who thrives off his own power over others into a hero who understands the grave consequences of his actions or inaction. It can't be understated how uniquely compelling of an origin story this is. To build the humanity of our protagonist, the story draws attention to the flaws and merits of Peter Parker and justifies why he has these characteristics. We can read into his upbringing and gather why Peter turned out the way he did, and how such a haunting experience could transform him into a hero. This is a story that remains focused on that journey, rather than leaning hard into the greater Marvel universe and detracting from the story being told. It doesn't skip any important details or elements of Peter's progression. They allow us to follow him the whole way through, and justify each and every step of his change. And while setups are an inherent part of storytelling, the setups are implemented naturally while serving purposes in the story, whether it be setting up Peter's major decisions, or how his outlook on life changes through experience. With that said, I wanted this video to be a fresh revisit of a classic story, and build a discussion about what worked about it. I also wanted this to be a start of a new video series, where I discuss Spider-Man comics as a whole. It's only natural to start at the beginning, then build up as more issues are discussed. I'm looking forward to breaking down these stories and seeing how well written they are, so feel free to subscribe if you're interested in more of these videos. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and comment your thoughts below. That's all for now. Goodbye.
That's all, folks.